Here I am going to discuss about the species locust. So these locusts are the swarming phase of certain species of short-horned grasshopper. That means we know that it is almost the locusts are almost similar to that of grasshopper, but these locusts are the certain species of short-horned grasshopper and it's not exact grasshopper. And the main peculiarity of these locusts are they form swarming phase. Swarming phase means they form groups. There are so many species of locust, that is desert locust, migratory locust, red locust, Australian plague locust, Rocky Mountain locust, American bird grasshopper, Pethanka succinate. Let us go to detail. The taxonomy of these locusts. The taxonomy of the locusts are we all know that it came under the kingdom Animalia, phylum Arthropoda, class Insecta, and the order Orthoptera, and the family Acrididae. Also, these grasshopper, locusts, all are come under same family Acrididae. So there are so many locusts. We already said about that. Migratory locust, tree locust. Their name may be they may Locusta migratoria, Anacrydium, melanohorden, etc. How can we identify this locust? The identification. It is a large-sized insect. Comparing to all other insects, it is also a large insect and shows sexual dimorphism. That means the male and female vary in structure. That is, the body length of male vary from 35 to 50 millimeter, and in females 45 to 55 millimeter. That means the female are much more larger than that of the male. And its wings are colorless and exceeding clearly the abdominal extremity. So it's colorless, and the color can vary, but it's usually green, brown, yellowish, green or grey. That means it can change their color through their life cycle. So and this process is known as gregarization. The ability to change their color through their life cycle is known as gregarization. So it shows some colors like pink, yellow, grey, green, brown, etc. And the mandibles are dark purple to black. Its distribution. So the locusts are adapted to live in hot and dry countries. So it's thrive so many conditions. It thrive in all situations like hot and dry countries. So all temperate and tropical parts of the eastern hemisphere like Europe, Africa, Madagascar, Caucasus, Central and Southeastern Asia, Australia, New Zealand, Arabian and Indo-Pakistan region. And this locust goes through two phases. It has two phases, which one is solitary and the other is gregarious. When these locusts solitary, they does not have any swarming phase. That means it behave independently, repel from other locusts, walk slowly with the creeping, active mostly at night, diet restricted. When they become dangerous or when they become very vigorous, when the phase of the locust comes from solitary to gregarious, it becomes vigorous or it becomes dangerous. That means it behaves as a cohesive unit attracted to conspecific, walk rapidly, active mostly at day, diet broad. Diet broad means it can be eaten by so many crops. And when the locusts are immature, or the immature locust is called nymph or the hopper, and when it becomes mature, then it becomes adult. So in nymph there is no wings, it's wingless and lighter in color than adult. And in adult, its size may vary from 45 to 60 millimeter in length, and its color is somewhat dark color, and hind wings have no markings. Adult flight is strong and steady. This is the picture that depicts the solitary and the gregarious phase. The difference between the solitary and gregarious phase locust. Next, about the life stages. Life stages, its generation is continuous through eggs. So the eggs are the yellowish brown in color and 7 to 8 millimeter in length, and 1 to 3 egg pods per female with an average of 60 to 80 per pod. Egg pod is large, slightly bent, 50 to 85. So what do you mean by pod? Pod is nothing but it's the damp, warm or sandy soil. So it is the damp or the warm sandy soil having 2 to 10 centimeter depth. That is called the pod. So these eggs are laid in the pod. And let us see a picture. This is the pod. This pod has 2 to 10 centimeter length, and eggs are laid in these pods. Then life cycle. It shows incomplete metamorphosis. That means this female lays eggs in a hole in damp, warm or sandy soil called a pod, usually at a depth of 2 to 10 centimeter, and each pod contains 60 to 80 pale yellow banana shaped eggs 5 to millimeter in long, and covers the eggs with a frothy liquid to protect from enemies, dehydration and contamination. So these eggs are covered with the frothy liquid for their safety. This is a picture that depicts the life cycle of locust. Once the eggs were laid in the pods, its incubation period is 2 weeks, and it then it goes through so many stages, and then it becomes nymph. Nymph is like hopper, and hopper development takes about 5 weeks, and it becomes adult locust. Adult locust matures in about 2 weeks, and again it lays eggs in pods. How locust damage goes? How it causes damage? So when it is in the solitary phase, it doesn't cause any problems. But when it becomes swarming phase or the gregarious phase, their numbers becomes increased and they form groups. And these groups or the swarms are infested areas are usually 5 kilometers square to 50 kilometers square. In each square kilometer of swarm, there can be seen 40 to 80 million locusts. It's very huge in amount in number. So the swarms can travel about 5 to 130 kilometer or more in a day. So they are very aggressive in nature and they are very active. So they can travel about 5 to 130 kilometer or more in a day. So during outbreaks, swarms damage to pasture, bay fields, cereal crops, various vegetable crops, as well as plantations of volatile oil-bearing plants, many tree species, young plants of many fruit, vines, fruit forests, and bush trees. This is the invasion of these tiny insects can pose a serious threat to livelihoods of millions and cause a shortage of food supply in their wetlands, strive to eat and reproduce. This is a picture that shows locust attacks pose a threat to kharif crops. These are the recent news. And this is the desert locust, flies above trees in Kenyan village, which cause destruction. These locusts, about this insect locusts, are also depicted in Mahabharata or the Iliads like Mahabharata, Quran, and Bible. In the Bible, it is depicted by the Jew. The Jew said that um, the Jew who keeps the Jewish dietary laws to eat includes locusts, crickets, and grasshoppers, all four-legged insects. That means the locusts are edible. The locusts are the edible food or the edible insect. The locusts are the tastiest insects. Insects could be an important food source in the future. So, in the future, the insects could be an important food source according to scientists who met this week in the Netherlands. And DW spoke with Dutch researcher Arnold van Hout, who is about his favorite edible insects. So, one of the favorite edible insects is locust. And in Quran, it's considered as halal or it is eatable. And according to Salafi Center in Manchester, locusts are permissible food because it was eaten during the time of the Prophet. And also a single square kilometer swarm can eat as much food in a day as 35,000 people. In a day, the locust can eat the food of 35,000 people. So that when we ate the locust, it can be limited in a such a way. In the Mahabharata, the 10th chapter in the book of Exodus, the Bible mentions locust as the eighth plague that is believed to have taken place in the 15th century. Why it said that locusts are edible and try to eat it? Because today 1/3 of the world's population include insects regularly in their diet. Insects use far less of the earth's resources to breed than mammals or birds do. Contain up to 70% protein plus amino acids and high levels of minerals good for human health, such as iron. As the world tries to cope up with a population expected to rise to 9 billion by 2050, it may be that including locusts and similar in our diet will be part of the solution to keeping us all fed and healthy. Like fish, they don't need kosher slaughter and they can. Then, how can we prevent the locust invasion? Similarly, it can be prevented by spraying with the chemicals. By spraying with the chemicals, we can limit the number of locusts. So, the prevention, there are many reasons why it's difficult to control or prevent a plague of locusts, including the remoteness and breadth of the areas across which they are spread. We know it has swarming phase and it can travel up to 50 to 130 kilometer or in a day. So that why it's very difficult to prevent the locust invasion, because it includes the remoteness and breadth of the areas across their spread and limited resources in some of the affected countries. But experts can look at past weather patterns and historical records to identify the areas where swarms might occur and spray those areas with chemicals. So, by this slide, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.